doing now is we're going to go through the exercise of releasing the donor 32 body from the original chassis. And to do that, there's several events that have to occur. One is, of course, the floorboards have to come out. Two, we have to go through the process of releasing the steering column from the dash, the floor, and the chassis. Once we get that far, we're going to take the steering wheel physically off, and the idea and the expected process is to be able to, in reverse, lift the body back off the chassis like Henry did back in the day. Chassis would come down the assembly line, it would have a loose firewall, it would have a steering column, and they would lower the body down on an angle in what we would call stab in and land on the frame. And we're attempting to do that in reverse. One of the hurdles is we don't want to disturb paint and interior finish, etc., etc. So we are surgically extracting the parts in order to make a clear way to slide it off of the chassis and off the steering column. What we're doing here is removing the rivets and the head of the bolts that won't come out for what Henry had installed as a drop floor underneath the seat. I'm presuming this is where you kept your 45 and your 12 gauge shotgun shells for whatever reason. But that said, we are actually grinding and drilling out the rivets and cutting the heads of the bolts off in order to release that drop floor, because with a new perimeter frame we have, it will interfere with our cross member that we have constructed in the new 32 highboy perimeter frame. It will not let the body go down and rest on the frame with that in there, so we're taking that out. Where we are, ideally the next step would be to get that steering wheel off. And I have Friday and Saturday released all the perimeter bolts on the body to the frame, and we've taken the seat out appropriately, and the next hurdle is to try to get that steering wheel off. Now we've got the steering box released, and we have taken it away from the frame, and we've taken the horn tube and light wires out of the center of the column, but we are having a real struggle getting that steering wheel off. And when push comes to shove, we may just saw it off and replace it later. But that's what our next step is. That is to get those few pieces cleaned up so we can lift the body off.
Go ahead. I still got a little weld catcher. Hold it. Hold it. You're hitting the muffler.
All right.
That's about as much.
Also, hold on. Just stay right there. Close your eyes. That's it. That's it, boss. Come on out. And I'll lift this down. Right. What a pain in the ass, Henry. Jeez, got on my worthless piece of crap. All right. Now, truth of the matter is, take some measurements And we might as well zit-saw that damn thing out of there right now. Because I think it's, let me measure, I think that's going to be in our way. This bolt hole is the center of the door that ties the body to the chassis. Now we've got a transmission that's going to come down, and we've got a cross member, original cross member that comes across where I'm measuring right now. We're going to have to cut that cross member out to just the flush side of the new perimeter frame X member. So that measurement ends up being 12 inches from the body bolt hole in the chassis. And we're going to take this piece from here to here out of the original existing body cross member. And actually it was a seat riser that bolted to that. So seat riser and latch are going to be replaced anyway with bucket seats, electric bucket seats, heated, lumbar, all for the better half to have a cushy ride down the road. I'm going to use a Coca-Cola box and a pillow, and I'm going to be in good shape. Here's the body bolt. Here's our 12 inches that measures from the center of the body bolt to where we're going to cut and take this piece out from here to the other side, to where the other mark is, and that's going to let the transmission transition through here. Yeah, that's fine. We've taken the bench seat out in our effort to move forward with redesigning the interior, and having taken that bench seat out, and we took the insulation off the firewall, and we have our transmission attached still to the dummy motor, but it gives us a location of how it's going to project through the floor. We have had to cut the cross member to accommodate the transmission. We have put in rough-in flooring. In combination, we have roughed in the steering column to be sure we're on location with the steering box and the necessary drop on the dash. And we were very fortunate to find a couple of both electric bucket seats. Electric meaning both of them operate electrically, up and down, back and forth, and they're low backs so that they don't sit up above the rear window. They haven't been put in permanently yet, but they have been roughed into an approximate location, and that's at the point that we are now. We will finish up by final trimming out of the floor, making it fit properly, building a transmission tunnel, and mounting the seats. Take all that out, upholster it, and we'll be done with that baby.